Hello everyone. This is known as the Holy Family, and over the next few weeks I'd like us to find out more about them. Our story today can help us get ready for Christmas in a very special way. The story of Christmas started about 2,000 years ago, and I'm going to bring a little bit of the story each week on the 4 Sundays up to Christmas and then on Christmas Day. Now today in the churches around the world, people begin to get ready for Jesus coming. Sometimes there are special colours for special things or special times. The colour for Advent is purple. Look, here's a purple roll. Now, at the time Jesus was born, purple was a very expensive fabric. It was the fabric of kings and queens. Roman citizens could just wear a purple stripe. Otherwise, there was no wearing of purple. I wouldn't have liked that, and it's my favourite colour. But Advent is a time to imagine going on a journey. It's the story of Jesus, and it's full of mystery, and it's a journey towards Bethlehem. Now, prophets are people who come so close to God, and God comes so close to them, that they know what's important. And hundreds of years before Jesus was born, prophets said that something special would happen in Bethlehem. They didn't know what it was going to be, but something special would happen in Bethlehem. So let's light a candle for the prophets and remember them today. We can't go to Bethlehem today because it's a long way away. Can't go because of COVID. But also, if you tried to go to Bethlehem today, it would be very difficult to get in because there's a big wall around the city. It's very complicated and it's very sad. But the prophets knew all those years ago that something special would happen in Bethlehem. Hello again. Last week we lit a candle to remember the prophets who said that something special was going to happen in Bethlehem. This is the week to remember the Holy Family going to Bethlehem. And we're going to go with them. Look, here's the road to Bethlehem. And here is the Father Joseph. And here's the Mother Mary. And here's the donkey that went with them. It wasn't a good time to go on a long journey, but they had to go because they had to be counted by the Roman soldiers. Mary was about to have a baby, so it wasn't a good time to go on a long journey. It was hard to walk. So sometimes she would ride the donkey. But it must be hard to ride a donkey when you're about to have a baby. So sometimes Mary would walk, sometimes walking, sometimes riding. They must have been the last people to go up the road that night to Bethlehem. Let's light a candle for the family going to Bethlehem. First, we'll light the candle for the prophets who pointed the way to Bethlehem. And then a candle for Mary and Joseph and the donkey as they journeyed to Bethlehem.
Sharing God's Christmas light, shining through us. Sharing God's Christmas light, in our smile and in our welcome, in the ways that we make people feel, in our gifts and in our thank yous, in the moments we make Christmas real. God's Christmas light, shining through us, sharing God's Christmas light, in our parties and nativities, in preparing and sharing our meals, in the shops and in the hospitals, in the places we make Christmas real. In the darkness, sharing God's Christmas light, shining through us, sharing God's Christmas light. In the things that are less than ideal, in the wonder, in the winter, in this season we make Christmas real. In the darkness, sharing God's Christmas light, shining through us, sharing God's Christmas light. Christmas